Life is like water, it flows naturally, effortlessly, until we disturb its course. Healing too, is not found in rushing or chasing after cures, but in returning to our own nature, in calmness and balance. Today I invite you to explore 10 Zen secrets that help us heal naturally, without medicine, without stress. Let us open the door to peace within, and discover how simplicity and mindfulness bring health to body and mind. In the quiet moments when the world slows down, the breath becomes your anchor and your guide. It is the silent rhythm that carries life through every cell, every thought, every feeling. Without the breath, nothing moves, nothing lives, and yet so often we forget to truly notice its gentle presence. The breath is not just air, it is the bridge between your inner self and the vast universe. The thread that weaves your body, mind and spirit into one seamless whole. When you pause and simply watch your breath, without trying to change it, you begin to see how it naturally flows in and out like waves on a calm sea. This natural rhythm is a powerful healer and teacher, for it reminds you that life is a balance of give and take, of expansion and contraction. When you breathe deeply with full awareness, you invite calmness to settle into your being. Stress that clutches your heart slowly loosens its grip, and your mind finds space to rest. The breath carries away the tension stored in your muscles, the heaviness weighing down your thoughts. Like the wind that clears the clouds, the breath clears the fog that blinds your inner vision. Many ancient Zen masters have taught that the breath is the gateway to presence. When you follow the breath closely, you are no longer lost in worries about the future or regrets from the past. You come home to yourself, to this very moment. This presence is the root of natural healing, because healing does not happen in a distracted mind. It happens in stillness, in attention, in the gentle unfolding of life as it is. With each inhalation you gather energy from the world around you. With each exhalation you release what no longer serves you. The breath becomes a dance of renewal, a sacred cycle that refreshes your body and mind. There is a deep intelligence in this process that no medicine can replicate. The breath carries the wisdom of nature itself, showing you how to let go, and how to receive, how to be strong, and how to be soft. You do not need to force your breath to be a certain way, just allow it to be natural and full. Notice if your breath is shallow or rapid, it may be a sign that your body is holding on to stress. If you gently encourage your breath to deepen, it can help shift your state from tension to relaxation. This is the gentle power of mindful breathing, a tool you carry with you at all times, a medicine-free path to healing. In Zen practice there is a meditation called anapanasati, which means mindfulness of breathing. The practitioner sits quietly observing the breath as it enters and leaves the body without judgment or effort. This simple act of watching the breath helps to calm the restless mind and bring clarity. It is through this clarity that healing begins to unfold, like a lotus blossoming in the morning sun. When you are connected to your breath, you begin to notice subtle changes in your body. You might feel warmth spreading, or a sense of lightness, or a quiet strength emerging. This is your own natural vitality, awakening the life force that has always been within you, but was hidden beneath layers of stress and distraction. The breath acts like a gentle massage for your nervous system, soothing the fight or flight response, and inviting your body back into a state of balance and peace. Healing through the breath is not something that happens instantly like a flash of light. It is a gradual unfolding, a return to your original nature, a nature that is whole, perfect and perfectly capable of healing itself. If you approach your breath with patience, kindness and curiosity, you allow this healing to grow naturally over time. Each breath is an opportunity to begin again, to reset, to reconnect to the deep calm that lies beneath the surface of busyness and worry. With every inhale you open to life. With every exhale you release what burdens you. The breath teaches you that you are enough, as you are, that peace is always available within you, even when the outside world is chaotic. In moments when you feel overwhelmed by pain or stress, come back to your breath. Let it remind you of the gentle, steady rhythm of life that cannot be broken. The breath is your companion, your guide, and your healer. If you learn to listen deeply to its message, you will find a source of strength and calm that no medicine can replace. So embrace the breath as your bridge to life, as your pathway to natural healing, and as your gateway to peace. In the heart of nature there lies a profound lesson that speaks softly to those willing to listen. It is the lesson of simplicity, where less becomes more and the clutter of life falls away, like leaves in the gentle autumn breeze. When we walk the path of simplicity, we begin to release the burdens that weigh heavy on our minds and bodies. Burdens born from wanting, from needing, from chasing illusions of what we think life should be. The path of simplicity invites us to return to what is essential, to what is true, to the quiet stillness that waits beneath the noise. Our lives today are often tangled in complexity, from endless desires to constant distractions, from the relentless pace that pulls us away from ourselves. This complexity is a fog that clouds our vision and traps our energy. It fills our hearts with stress and our bodies with tension, and it takes us far from the natural harmony that is our birthright. To heal naturally, to find peace without medicine or stress, we must learn to let go of the unnecessary, to unburden ourselves, so that the soul can breathe freely. Simplicity is not about deprivation or sacrifice, it is about clarity, about cutting through the chaos to find the core of what truly matters. It is like clearing the path in a dense forest, to reveal the sunlight on the ground. The more we simplify our surroundings, our thoughts and our actions, the more room we create for healing and calmness to enter. When we release the weight of excess, our bodies relax and our minds open. Think of the trees in a quiet forest. They do not compete to grow the tallest or the fullest. They simply exist in balance with the earth and the sky. Each leaf serves a purpose, and when it falls, it makes way for new growth. This natural cycle teaches us that holding on too tightly to things creates stiffness and suffering, but letting go brings renewal and vitality. When we simplify, we align ourselves with this natural wisdom, allowing our own health to flourish. Simplicity also means embracing the present moment, without adding the stories and judgment that complicate our experience. When we stop chasing after what could be, or regretting what was, we find ourselves grounded in what is. This grounding is a powerful form of healing, because it frees us from the turmoil of restless thoughts and invites a peaceful presence into our lives. Presence is the soil where natural healing grows. To walk the path of simplicity, we begin by observing where we carry unnecessary weight in our lives. This may be physical clutter in our homes, or mental clutter in our minds. It might be unhealthy attachments to people, places, or outcomes. When we notice these burdens without resistance and with gentle curiosity, we create space to let them go. This act of release is a sacred gift to ourselves, a step towards freedom and health. Many Zen teachings encourage us to live simply, to eat simply, and to think simply, because in simplicity, the true nature of things is revealed. When we simplify our diet, by choosing natural whole foods, we nourish our bodies without overloading them. When we simplify our daily routines, we reduce stress and create time for rest and reflection. When we simplify our thoughts by letting go of worries and judgments, we open our minds to clarity and peace. In this simplicity, we reconnect with the rhythms of nature, with the cycles of the seasons, with the rising and setting of the sun. We remember that life is not a race, but a gentle unfolding, that each moment is a chance to begin again, and that healing is a natural process. When we align ourselves with these rhythms, our bodies and minds are designed to heal, not through force, but through ease and harmony. Letting go of burdens does not mean ignoring responsibilities or shutting down emotions. It means facing life honestly and choosing what serves our well-being and what does not. It means creating boundaries and saying yes to rest and self-care. It means treating ourselves with the same kindness we would offer to a dear friend who is struggling. To walk the path of simplicity. To walk the path of simplicity is to walk gently with ourselves, with compassion, and with awareness. As we simplify, we also begin to see beauty in the small things, the quiet moments, the gentle touch of a breeze, the soft light of dawn. These simple pleasures nourish the soul and remind us that happiness and health are not found in abundance or achievement, but in presence and gratitude. When we cultivate this appreciation, we invite natural healing into every corner of our being. Simplicity clears the way for a deeper connection to ourselves and to the world around us. It helps us listen to the subtle signals of our bodies, the quiet messages of our hearts, and the wisdom of our minds. In this space of clarity, healing can emerge naturally without struggle or force. It is like a clear pond reflecting the sky, when the wind is still and the waters are calm. So choose simplicity in your daily life. Release the burdens that are not yours to carry. Clear the clutter in your mind and your space. Honor the wisdom of nature and your own body. Trust that in simplicity, you will find the peace and healing you seek. Embrace the path of simplicity and let healing flow naturally through your life. Our bodies are ancient temples that hold the wisdom of countless moments and experiences. If we learn to listen deeply, we discover a language spoken not in words, but in sensations, subtle shifts and quiet signals. This language is the whisper of the body, a silent teacher that guides us toward balance and healing. Yet too often we ignore these whispers, caught up in noise and distraction, or we push through discomfort with force and resistance. The body does not shout to be heard. It murmurs softly through feelings of tension, fatigue, warmth, or coolness. Each sensation is a message, a hint about what the body needs to restore harmony. When pain arises, it is not an enemy, but a messenger, urging us to pause and pay attention to what is out of balance. Like the gentle wind that bends the bamboo without breaking it, the body's whispers invite us to respond with care and respect, rather than fear or denial. To truly listen to the body, we must cultivate awareness and presence. We must slow down and create space within ourselves to notice what arises without judgment or rushing. When we become still enough to observe sensations as they come and go, we begin to understand the subtle dialogue between body and mind. This dialogue is a path to healing that no external medicine can replace, because it is rooted in our own lived experience and innate wisdom. The body's whispers often come in the form of small discomforts or feelings of unease. These signals are like soft footsteps along a forest path, showing us where we might be holding stress or neglecting our needs. When we acknowledge these signs early with gentleness and curiosity, we can make changes before issues deepen and become more difficult to heal. Ignoring the whispers leads to loud alarms in the form of illness or exhaustion, which demand our attention with urgency. Listening to the body also means honoring its rhythms and cycles. Our energy fluctuates throughout the day and across seasons. There are times for activity and times for rest, times for focus and times for letting go. When we align our lives with these natural rhythms, we support the body's ability to heal and renew, rather than drain itself in resistance. The body is not a machine to be pushed, but a living organism that thrives in balance and harmony. Often our culture teaches us to override bodily signals, to keep going, to achieve more, to ignore pain. But true healing begins when we reverse this pattern, when we start to trust the body's intelligence rather than override it with willpower or distraction. This trust is a radical act of kindness and respect that opens the door to deeper well-being and resilience. It allows the body to guide us toward what nourishes us and away from what harms us. In Zen tradition, there is a great respect for the body as a teacher. The practice of mindful awareness invites us to tune into each part of the body with gentle attention, noticing sensations without trying to change them. Just by observing, we create a space of acceptance and healing. This presence softens tension and fosters a deeper connection to ourselves. The body's whispers also remind us of the importance of breath, posture, and movement. These are the primary ways we communicate with ourselves and the world. The quality of our breath reflects the state of our nervous system. The way we hold our bodies reveals emotional patterns and habits. When we listen to these clues and respond with care through mindful breathing, gentle stretching, or quiet rest, we support natural healing on all levels. Sometimes listening to the body requires patience, for healing is often a slow unfolding rather than an instant fix. The body needs time to release stored tension and trauma, to rebuild strength and balance. This process can be aided by consistent practices of mindfulness, self-care, and compassion. When we meet the body's whispers with kindness rather than frustration, we create an environment where healing can flourish. It is also important to remember that the body is connected to the mind and spirit in a continuous flow of communication. Discomfort in one area may reflect imbalance in another. When we listen deeply, we begin to see these connections and understand that healing is holistic. This awareness encourages us to care for ourselves, fully addressing physical, mental, and emotional needs with equal respect. To cultivate this listening in everyday life, we can pause regularly to check in with our bodies, to notice what sensations arise and how they change. We can ask ourselves simple questions like, what does my body need right now? How does this activity affect my energy? How do I feel inside? These small moments of awareness build a habit of attentiveness that supports ongoing healing and well-being. In moments of pain or stress, the body's whispers become urgent calls for help. They urge us to stop, to rest, to seek support, or to change harmful patterns. Responding to these calls is an act of self-love and courage. It honors the sacredness of the body and acknowledges that healing is possible when we listen and act with care. When we learn to hear the body's whispers, we reclaim a deep source of wisdom and power within ourselves. We no longer see the body as a problem to be fixed, but as a wise ally guiding us toward health and peace. This shift transforms how we relate to ourselves and to life itself. It opens a pathway to healing that is natural, gentle, and profound. So take time to listen to your body's whispers, to honor the silent teacher within, and to respond with kindness and presence. Let the body's wisdom lead you back to balance and healing. Life is not a still pond frozen in time, but a flowing river, ever changing and moving in its own rhythm. Healing too is found not in rigid stillness or frantic action, but in the dance between movement and calmness. When we learn to find stillness in movement, we connect to the natural flow of life that carries us gently through moments of stress and illness toward wholeness and peace. Movement is the language of life. It expresses energy, vitality, and the continuous renewal that happens within our bodies and minds. Yet movement without awareness can become chaotic and draining, like a river rushing too fast over rocks. When movement is mindful, it becomes a form of meditation, a sacred practice where body and mind unite in harmony. This harmony invites healing by balancing the nervous system, soothing tension, and opening the heart. In many ancient traditions, including Zen, movement is not seen as separate from stillness but as its partner. Like the breath that flows in and out, like waves that rise and fall, movement has its own rhythm that invites us to tune in and find peace within the flow. When we move with awareness, we become present to each sensation, each step, each gesture. This presence transforms movement into a moving meditation, where healing energy flows freely and naturally. Walking slowly with attention to each footfall, feeling the connection between your feet and the earth, can become a profound practice of stillness in motion. The body settles into a natural rhythm, the mind quiets, and the breath flows smoothly. This simple act opens a space where stress loosens its grip and the body begins to repair itself. Movement becomes a bridge connecting us to the here and now. Gentle stretching or slow-flowing exercises like Tai Chi and Qigong embody this principle of finding stillness in movement. These practices encourage fluidity, grace, and balance. They help release stagnant energy and invite a deep relaxation that nourishes the whole being. When we practice in this way, movement becomes a healing art that harmonizes body, mind, and spirit. Even in daily life, we can cultivate this awareness by bringing mindful attention to ordinary actions, washing dishes, walking upstairs, or bending to tie shoelaces. Each movement becomes an opportunity to connect to the present moment and find calmness within activity. This practice helps us break free from the habit of rushing through life, disconnected from our bodies and from the natural rhythms around us. Stillness in movement also teaches us about acceptance and flow. When we resist movement or try to force our bodies, we create tension and struggle. Healing slows down and stress increases. But when we surrender to the flow of movement, allowing it to be gentle and effortless, we support the body's natural ability to heal. This surrender is not giving up, but a wise yielding that opens the door to vitality and renewal. The flow of life moves like a river through seasons and cycles, just as our bodies and emotions move through phases of energy and rest. There are times when active movement supports healing and times when rest is needed to integrate and restore. Listening deeply to these cycles and honoring them with care is an essential part of finding stillness in movement. It reminds us that healing is a process that unfolds in its own time without rush or resistance. When we find stillness in movement, we also cultivate a deep sense of connection to the world around us. The flowing patterns of nature inspire us to move with grace and ease. They show us that health and healing are not static states but dynamic processes that involve continuous adjustment and harmony with life's rhythms. This understanding brings peace and confidence even in the face of challenges. The nervous system benefits greatly from this balanced flow. Movement activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the branch responsible for rest, digestion, and healing. When we move mindfully, we send signals to the body that it is safe to relax and repair. Chronic stress that keeps the body locked in fight or flight begins to dissolve as we learn to embody calm movement. This creates fertile ground for natural healing to take root and flourish. Breath and movement together create a powerful synergy that enhances healing. The breath supports the flow of energy during movement, and movement deepens the quality of the breath. When we synchronize breath and motion, we tap into the vital life force known as Chi or Prana. This vital force nourishes every cell and helps clear blockages that may cause pain or illness. The flowing union of breath and movement becomes a form of natural medicine that nurtures the whole person. It is important to remember that finding stillness in movement is a personal journey. There is no perfect way to do it and no set pace. The invitation is to listen to your body's needs, to move gently and mindfully in ways that feel nourishing and healing for you. This kindness toward yourself fosters a positive relationship with movement that supports lasting well-being. In moments when illness or pain limits movement, we can still find stillness in the small movements of breath, subtle shifts in posture, or the awareness of sensations within these gentle movements. Healing continues. Even if the body cannot engage in vigorous activity, the key is presence, acceptance, and trust in the process of life unfolding through movement and stillness together. The flow of life invites us to dance between action and rest, to find the quiet center within every motion, to discover the sacred rhythm that supports healing and peace. When we embrace this dance, we align ourselves with the natural order of the world and awaken the innate capacity to heal and renew. So move with mindfulness, breathe with intention, and find the stillness that flows within every step, gesture, and breath. Let the flow of life carry you gently toward healing and harmony.